Right now, the sun is making its return this weekend, but it will be a little cooler out there. Chris is tracking your hour-by-hour planner. And the latest on the rising rivers and flood warnings across Wisconsin. We'll tell you which parts of the state are still in jeopardy of going underwater. Plus, the race before the Ragers. Madison's annual Shamrock Shuffle is just starting this St. Patty's Day weekend, and we're there live.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this Saturday, March 16th. I'm Josh Brighter with meteorologist Chris Reese, who's taking a little breather this morning.
I know, finally. It's been a while since
Yes.
we've been able to say it is a nice weekend.
Some good news for all those dealing with the flooding out there.
Absolutely great news, certainly needed out there. Here's the deal. We do still have some flood warnings in play, but the sunshine, folks, is certainly taking over. A beautiful sunrise out there so far this morning. We'll continue to see more of that throughout your Saturday. The temperature, 27 degrees, winds out of the west-northwest at 7 miles per hour. A little bit of a wind chill there at 19. 28 as you work your way down towards Janesville. Platteville also at 28. Kenosha and Milwaukee, some of those warmer spots that are in the 30s right now. All of us will see 30s this afternoon, that is for sure. Temperatures are a little bit colder than they were at this time yesterday. Typically, it's the second day after that cold front passage to get some of your coldest weather. So this should be the coldest day that we have as we go through our next 10 days. We'll have another cold front come through tomorrow, but that one's not really going to impact us all that much in terms of temperature. Wind still coming out of the north and west behind that front, but that's also helping high pressure stay in control, and that means more sunshine going throughout the day. So all that snow shower activity will certainly continue to turn off. Plan your day with temperatures in the 30s and a lot more sunshine ahead. It's been a while since I could say that, but
Finally,
that is the truth.
We can just kind of take a deep breath here and
yes, we can.
Relax.
Yes, we can.
All right, Chris, thank you. We are tracking some breaking news this morning. The family of a missing 2-year-old in Milwaukee says she has been found dead. WISN reports the body of Nolani Robinson was found in Minnesota. In a press conference Friday, Chief Alfonso Morales said suspect Darius Higgins had been providing police with information on the whereabouts of his daughter Nolani Robinson, but it had proven to be untrue. Higgins is accused of fatally shooting Sierra Robinson and wounding one of her friends Monday. An Amber Alert had been issued for Nolani since then. Police arrested Higgins on Wednesday. Stay with News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for updates to this developing story. Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight, the unresponsive man found in Lake Mendota yesterday has been identified. Madison police issued a statement overnight thanking the public for their help. They are not publicly naming the man right now. Emergency crews and police were called around 6 Friday morning to Lake Mendota after a bystander discovered the man floating in the water near Lake Street. He was then taken to a nearby hospital. Well, for the third day in a row, water levels are rising across southern Wisconsin, causing flooding and massive evacuations. Governor Evers has declared a state of emergency, and now many local counties are in the wait-and-see mode. In Columbia County, the Crawfish River is steadily rising, prompting people living along the river to evacuate. Crews from the Dodge County Emergency Management Team have been helping people get from their homes to higher ground. An assisted living home near the river was cleared as well. The city administrator says it wasn't an easy call to issue the evacuations, but they did so as a preventative measure.
The water levels are at a point where if there were to be an emergency situation, our emergency vehicles couldn't get in. So with what's predicted yet, or the unknown in the next couple of days, we made the call to do the evacuation so that people can just be safe.
Luckily, no one has been injured so far during those evacuations. Columbia County officials expect the Wisconsin River to reach a flood stage of 17.5 feet by Monday. That's a half foot below last year's highest crest. The Baraboo River is also expected to reach moderate flood stage levels by Monday, about 2 feet below last year's high. Officials say they're not expecting major damage to homes or other structures, but they are monitoring water levels. Anyone living in those areas can pick up free sandbags from the Columbia County Highway Shop in Wyocena, the Department of Public Works building in Portage, or call the City of Columbus to pick them up there. Sauk County is also offering sandbags for you to assemble your own at Reedsburg High School and the West Baraboo Garage across from Festival Foods. People in DeForest are also dealing with major flood damage. Most don't have flood insurance coverage because they don't live in a floodplain. The high river levels, high temps, melting snow, and the frozen ground clogged storm sewers, creating widespread flooding for families in areas that aren't even near bodies of water.
The furnace is ruined, the water heater's ruined, the
washer, dryer, freezer.
Everything that's down there is destroyed. So we can't, our gas is shut off, our power's shut off until we get those things fixed. We got to clean up before we can do that. So I don't know, I guess we just keep moving forward.
Despite all of the flooding, there are no injuries to report there. Some more good news for Darlington this morning as the Pecatonica River is going down. The Darlington Police Department says the river crested at about 17.5 feet and has been slowly receding since then by about 3/4 of an inch per hour. The city of Darlington says state highways 81 and 23 in Darlington are now open, and so is the Main Street Bridge. Well, as the temperatures increase, parks in our area could be closing in the coming weeks. The Dane County Parks Department is monitoring conditions as warmer weather brings out ground frost and melts snow. Both could cause damage to park lands. Officials ask anyone visiting parks to use paved pathways and roads instead of walking on the grass. They add that the ground should firm up after a few rounds of spring rain and drying winds. To stay up to speed with the weekend's weather, download the all-new Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. It includes a 12-hour and 10-day forecast on the go, and you can find it for free in the App Store. 8:05 is your time this morning. The county's top officials have shared who they plan to endorse for mayor ahead of this afternoon's Madison Mayoral Forum. County Executive Joe Parisi hosted an event this week to announce his support of Satya Rhodes Conway. Here's a little on why he is supporting her over incumbent Mayor Paul Soglin.
Satya gets that we all must work together if we are to accomplish our common goals. And we have many, be it cleaner lakes, thriving kids, better transportation, or tackling poverty. There is no shortage of challenges or opportunities on which we can work together.
Meanwhile, Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney plans to endorse Mayor Paul Soglin in his re-election bid. In a post on the mayor's Facebook page, Sheriff Mahoney says he admires the mayor's leadership and his willingness to work collaboratively on public safety and public health issues that cross municipal boundaries. You can hear from both Madison mayoral candidates this afternoon. They're taking part in a forum at Covenant Presbyterian Church on Seagull Road starting at 4. You are encouraged to attend with questions for the candidates. Over a physical altercation with an 11-year-old student has resigned. Micaiah Price said her daughter's braids were ripped out by Rob Muller-Owens during an altercation in the hallway last month. The police report shows differing accounts of what happened on the day of the altercation, including witness reports and statements. The Dane County District Attorney said he wouldn't be charging Muller-Owens. Hundreds of students in Madison are hoping they've sent a message to local government officials about climate change.
Despite the president's decision, activists and students around the country, including right here today in Madison, are joining together to demand change. The status quo will not work, and we must take action.
Dozens of students walked out of class Friday afternoon, gathered at East High, and marched to the Capitol to demand climate change reform. The rally was part of a series of student climate change protests around the world. 6 months after the workplace shooting at a Middleton software company, now known as Paradigm, the employees are thanking first responders for their life-saving efforts on that day in September. All 4 shooting victims are back at work in full-time capacity, but some other employees have chosen not to return. Paradigm honored the 350 first responders who were called to the scene with a private ceremony Friday, where the responders were presented with small shadow boxes. Each box contained shards of glass left from the Paradigm building.
I hope we say thank you more often than we do as a community. For me, we had a lot of support to make this happen. We had a local company, UPC, which has a relation with one of our employees. They actually volunteered all the materials and the design and the labor for this box.
Employees have been working out of a temporary space while their building undergoes renovations, but they plan to return to their original building by the end of this month. 8:08 this morning. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, but there are opportunities all weekend long to get you in the Irish spirit. Starting today, you can check out the Trinity Irish dancers at a bunch of different locations. There's a little snippet right there from when the dancers came on News 3 Now this morning at the beginning of this month. You can see them at the Overture at the morning's Kids in the Rotunda series today. They'll also be at Brokack Irish Pub on the Square in the afternoon and the Middleton Library. Then tomorrow you can catch them in Fitchburg at the Great Dane Pub and the Public Library. To see all of the performances, times, and locations, just go to trinityirishdance.com. A new list is giving Wisconsinites another reason to say cheers this holiday weekend. Several Wisconsin breweries are topping the Brewers Association list for 2018's top craft breweries in the U.S. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the list is based on sales volume of beer. Meinhaus in Monroe is the second oldest brewery in the country, ranked 15 among craft breweries and 24th among breweries overall. New Glarus Brewing, which only sells beer in Wisconsin, is ranked 6th among craft breweries and 25th overall. Stevens Point Brewery ranked 22nd among craft breweries. Miller Coors ranked 2nd among breweries overall, with Anheuser-Busch in at number 1. Well, thousands of people hoping to work off their St. Patty's Day Guinness and corned beef are racing through Madison this morning. Here's a live picture at the Shamrock Shuffle, which kicked off just a couple of minutes ago. 2,500 racers are running and walking the 5 or 10K this morning. The money raised benefits the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. More than $300,000 has been raised for that organization so far. The route started at the bottom of State Street, goes along Lake Mendota, and will end at the Library Mall. The New Glarus boys basketball team only makes the WIAA state tournament every 87 years or so, so this is an extraordinary weekend for them. The team is 25-2 on the season and will play Lord's Academy in the Division IV final at 12:45 this afternoon. The last time the Knights were there was back in 1932. It's safe to say the team is pumped up and ready to go.
Just to be able to go here with my teammates that I grew up with, and Coach Cisco, my dad, the assistant coach, and this community. I mean, they've been behind us since my freshman year, my first game in New Glarus. So for us to be able to do this for the town of New Glarus, it feels amazing.
New Glarus's win on Thursday was their first at Boys State basketball since 1932. You can catch highlights from this afternoon's game on our news tonight at 6 and 10. The Badgers men's basketball team is feeling good heading into their second game of the Big Ten tourney this afternoon. This will be their 10th time the Badgers have faced Michigan State in the Big Ten tournament, the most of any two teams in the conference. Wisconsin is headed to the semifinals as the 4th seed in the tourney. They're coming off of a win against the Cornhuskers. The Spartans secured their spot after topping Ohio State. The Badgers haven't won the conference tournament since 2015. That year, they ended up playing for a national championship. We'll find out where the Badgers are headed in this year's NCAA tournament at 5 tomorrow night during the selection show right here on News 3 Now. 8:12 right now. We're waking up with a little cooler conditions out there, but hey, the sun has returned. We've got a quiet weekend in store for southern Wisconsin. Let's take a live look over the Capitol this morning. What a shot right there to see for a Saturday. We're not used to that on the weekend. Chris will have the latest on those flooding forecasts and also the sunny conditions coming up on News 3 Now this morning.
It is a beautiful Saturday morning here across southern Wisconsin. Plenty of blue skies outside as well. This is what we need because there are still a lot of flood warnings in play for a lot of folks from just southwest of Madison and northeast towards Sheboygan. Now, those flood warnings have been extended until 3:45 this afternoon. We'll see if they get extended any more beyond where they are for now. In the meantime, we're tracking plenty of sunshine. There were some snow showers to our north and east early. A lot of that moving out of here and more so towards Michigan at this time. Where the snow showers are, that's where you have cloud cover. Essentially, if you are not underneath that, things are very much sunny in nature for you, and we're going to be staying that way as we go through at least the first half of your weekend. Temperatures, though, will be a little bit on the chilly side. We're at 27 degrees right now. Winds out of the west and northwest at 7. That's creating just a little bit of a wind chill of 19 for us. 28 as you work your way down towards Janesville. 30s still showing up, though, along the lake shore. And all of us will get into the 30s, especially as we head into the afternoon. In fact, we're talking afternoon highs around 39, close to 40 degrees in some spots. And that's a little bit on the chilly side, but we do have high pressure in control. And that's why we're going to keep that sunshine around. In fact, sunshine is around really for all of the Midwest. And as that high slides its way mainly towards our south and east, we are going to stay in control of that. Now, there is one weak little cold front that'll slide through that might bring a little bit in the way of cloud cover or some flurries tomorrow. But again, the drier air underneath that high pressure is really what's going to stay in control for us as a whole. This afternoon, temperatures topping out around 39 again, cooling down overnight towards about 25 degrees or so. And then here's what happens as we go into your Sunday. Sunday afternoon, some cloud cover works its way on in here. We might see a few snow flurries coming on in behind that, but otherwise we're generally going to be dry. Not a whole lot can be expected out of that. But watch this upper air pattern. We call that big rise in the jet stream out west a ridge that allows for warmer temperatures to move into the picture. And as we go through the next several days, things gradually get warmer and warmer and warmer. In fact, over the next 6 to 10 days, the greatest probability of above normal temperatures is right here over where we live in south central Wisconsin. A strong probability for that, along with plenty of sunshine as well. So we finally have a nice stretch of good weather. It's been a while since we've been able to say that, but it is here, my friends. By next weekend, there is a chance for showers and thunderstorms, along with temperatures in the upper 50s and perhaps even 60s. It doesn't show it in the forecast now, but I'm thinking about tweaking that. So enjoy this nice weather that we do have before us.
A few days to dry out.
Yes, several days to dry out at that.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, if you live in Verona or have kids that go to school there, you may have noticed a crossing guard who waves at everyone. Don Kazda sits out front of Tuvelo Coffee every morning, rain, shine, sleet, or snow. He's been doing it for the last 19 years and is known for waving at everyone that passes by. He says he loves what he does. Don was a custodian at the Country View Elementary for a long time before becoming a crossing guard.
I used to work up the school, and a guy told me, he said, why don't you be crossing guard? So I started in 2000.
His friends at the coffee shop appreciate him and his kindness every day, and they let him come in and get coffee for free whenever he wants, and he certainly deserves that. 8:19 right now, a favorable judgment for one of America's best-known TV jurists, and Brittany is coming to Broadway. Plus, there are several shows and movies for you to enjoy this weekend. Will have 3 things to watch on News 3 Now this morning.
Plenty of sunshine out there this morning. We're going to see that as we go through your Saturday, so enjoy that. 27 degrees right now as you head out to do whatever you may be doing on the Saturday morning. 30s as you work your way towards the lakeshore. Throughout the next 12 hours, we'll watch your temperatures warm up, topping out around 39 before gradually cooling back through the 30s this evening. Josh?
In entertainment news this morning, Britney is headed to Broadway. We're talking about Britney Spears, of course, who is calling the announcement a dream come true. 23 of her songs will be featured in an upcoming musical comedy that hits Broadway this fall. Although the singer herself will not be performing, the show called Once Upon a One More Time will feature stories about Disney characters, like Cinderella and Prince Charming, set to sing her songs. Well, the verdict is in. A jury of her TV peers has ruled Judge Judy should receive an Emmy for Lifetime Achievement. Longtime no-nonsense TV judge Judith Scheinlin will receive the award at the 46th Annual Daytime Emmy Awards in May. Judge Judy has presided over thousands of TV cases since her show first debuted more than 20 years ago in 1996. We're getting a first look at what Disney's latest live-action fairy tale looks like on the big screen. Will Smith will pay homage to his Fresh Prince days as the genie in the reboot of Aladdin. Disney released the film's first trailer this week, the story of a beloved street urchin who finds a lamp with a genie inside when gets 3 wishes. Aladdin hits theaters Memorial Day weekend. But of course, we wouldn't make you wait until then to enjoy something good. Will Loper has you covered with 3 things to watch this weekend.
Join me. Or die.
New on home video this week is Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
I take it you've heard the rumors. Grindelwald had a vision that he would rise to dominance over the wizarding world.
So you're asking me to help hunt him down?
Eddie Redmayne stars as Newt Scamander, who must stop the evil wizard Grindelwald with the help of his friends and animals.
The wizarding and non-wizarding worlds have been at peace for over a century. Grindelwald wants to see that peace destroyed.
Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Yeah, some guy called over here, a doctor. He's looking for a driver.
Also new on home video is this year's Best Picture winner, Green Book.
This gentleman says that I'm not permitted to dine here.
I'm afraid not.
How does he smile and shake their hands like that? Because it takes courage to change people's hearts.
Mahershala Ali stars as Don Shirley, a world-class pianist who hires a driver and bodyguard, played by Viggo Mortensen, as the two travel in the Deep South.
Come on, get out now.
You never win with violence. You only win when you maintain your dignity.
You don't know your own people. You, Mr. Big Shot, doing concerts for rich people.
So if I'm not black enough, and if I'm not white enough, then tell me, Tony, what am I?
Green Book is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Is there any risk of brain damage?
Well, technically speaking, the procedure is brain damage, but it's on a par with a night of heavy drinking.
Finally, this week marks the 15-year anniversary of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Look at it out here. It's all falling apart. I'm erasing you, and I'm happy. You did it to me first.
The mind-bending film stars Jim Carrey as a man who undergoes a procedure to remove all memories of his ex-girlfriend, played by Kate Winslet, but realizes he may want to keep those memories after all.
I'm just exactly where I want to be. Glenn? I want to call it off.
Can you hear me? I don't want this anymore. I want to call it off.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Why do I fall in love with every woman I see who shows me the least bit of attention?
Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch. This is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
8:27 right now, and things are about to get more congested on the interstate south of Madison as the arrival of spring also means the return of construction season. Plus, our motherhood series continues with a trip halfway around the world. We'll tell you what it's like to be a mom in China compared to the U.S. This is News 3 Now this morning. We are heading halfway around the world this morning to find out what it's like to be a mom in China compared to here in the U.S. Why new parents there take more than just a new baby home.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and thanks for staying with us on this Saturday, March 16th. I'm Josh Breiter. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a sunny forecast in just a moment, but first, breaking overnight out of Milwaukee. The family of a missing 2-year-old says she has been found dead. WISN reports the body of Nolani Robinson was found in Minnesota. In a press conference Friday, Chief Alfonso Morales said suspect Darius Higgins had been providing police with information on the whereabouts of his daughter Nolani Robinson, but it had proven to be untrue. Higgins is accused of fatally shooting Sierra Robinson and wounding one of her friends Monday. An Amber Alert had been issued for Nolani since then. Police arrested Higgins on Wednesday. Stay with News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for updates. For the third day in a row, water levels are rising across southern Wisconsin, causing flooding and massive evacuations. Governor Evers has declared a state of emergency, and now many local counties are in the wait-and-see mode. This is video of Columbia County, where the Crawfish River is steadily rising, prompting evacuations this weekend. Crews from the Dodge County Emergency Management Team have been helping people get from their homes to higher ground. Several roads are still closed there. For a full list of those closures, go to the Channel 3000 mobile app. A new list is giving Wisconsinites another reason to say cheers this St. Patty's Day weekend. Several Wisconsin breweries are topping the Brewers Association list for 2018's top craft breweries in the U.S. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the list is based on sales volume of beer. Meinhaus in Monroe is ranked 15th among craft breweries and 24th among breweries overall. New Glarus Brewing, which only sells beer in Wisconsin, of course, is ranked 16th among craft breweries and 25th overall. Miller Coors ranked 2nd among breweries overall, with Anheuser-Busch in at number 1. Well, looks like it's going to be a fantastic weekend for all of those celebrating St. Patty's Day weekend, Chris.
That's right, Josh. Finally, plenty of sunshine around here. We haven't been able to say that in a while, especially on a Saturday morning, but that's the case. 27 degrees, though, so it is just a little bit chilly, but still, we're going to gradually get warmer as we go through the next 10 days or so. 28 down in Janesville, same for Lone Rock, Mineral Point at 30. Temperatures are all in the 20s and 30s this morning, and we'll all end up in the 30s this afternoon. Now, things are a little bit colder than they were at this time. Yesterday, we had a cold front come through a couple days ago. Typically, that second day after the cold front is one of the colder days, and we're still seeing that with those winds coming out of the north and west behind that. But high pressure in control, that's going to mean more sunshine for your weekend, and that also does mean temperatures will gradually begin to get warmer. This afternoon, topping out into the upper 30s and low 40s for a lot of folks, and then as we go through the next 10 days, we could add several more degrees to those temperatures through time. Josh?
All right, Chris, some good news there. Thank you. More local news this morning. The DOT says drivers going through Janesville are going to see a dramatic change along a 3-mile stretch of I-90 this spring. The department told the Janesville Gazette by April you could expect to see a lot of digging on the city's north side to match bridge elevations at the Highway 14 and 26 interchanges. A spokesperson told the Gazette the project will actually make it look like the crews are building hills on the northbound side of the interstate. Detours and closures for the project will start up next month. 8:34 is your time right now, and we've been following CBS's World of Mothers series, exploring what it means to be a mom around the world. This morning, we're heading to China, where childcare is truly a family affair. A 2017 report found grandparents help raise children in more than 3/4 of their households. Ben Tracy takes us there.
It'll be a few years before Colin Gu can drive a real car and get around Beijing on his own. So for now, the 2.5-year-old has his parents and grandparents to steer him in the right direction. Shortly after Colin was born, Li Ping and Gu Cheng Chow moved into their son and daughter-in-law's small 2-bedroom apartment to help raise their new grandson.
90% of the family which I know have their parents-in-law together with them.
Abigail Chang has long and unpredictable hours as an executive assistant at an automobile company. Her husband, Gu Lin, is an engineer. So for most of the work week, the grandparents are in charge and cooking all the meals.
Would you be able to have this kind of job if you didn't have this help from the grandparents?
No way. Yeah, I have to tell you that no way. I have to quit my job because I can only trust them. I can only trust my parents or my husband's parents. They are the only person in the whole wide world that can love my son so much.
Why were you willing to move in here and help so much?
Li Ping says it's the Chinese tradition. We are still quite healthy after retirement. Being around the kid every day brings us joy. We have nothing to complain about. Historically, multi-generational living has been seen as the cultural ideal in China, with several generations living under one roof. Today, grandparents share almost half of childcare duties with mothers of 2- and 3-year-olds. It's a big part of why China has one of the highest rates of women in the workforce in the world.
It's not just about individual choices, but it's about what you do to maximize the well-being of the whole family.
University of Maryland sociology professor Fenyan Chen says that in China, parents often leave their children behind with grandparents as they move from the countryside to the major cities in search of better paying jobs.
Grandparents providing care for the grandchildren very much creates that opportunity for other members of the family, mostly the mothers, to engage in other opportunities.
Chen was herself raised by grandparents in China and later in the United States benefited from grandparents helping with her own kids.
Without a doubt, I would not have gotten tenure without the help from my parents and my parents-in-law.
In America, only about 14% of grandparents provide significant care to grandkids, but Chen says it is more common among certain communities.
Black grandmothers, the Hispanic grandparents, the Asian American grandparents oftentimes play a much more prominent role.
Chang says that even though many new parents in China expect grandparents to help out, she wanted to take a moment to make sure her mother-in-law knows how truly grateful she is.
What did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I said to her that I appreciate the help a lot, and we always know that as a Chinese we don't say it aloud. She said to me that I'm also a good daughter-in-law, and yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you have a great mother.
Yeah, sure.
Ben Tracy reporting there. Looking for something to do this weekend? Well, you don't have to be Irish to get in on this holiday fun. We'll tell you how kids of all ages can get in the green and gold spirit this St. Paddy's Day weekend. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning.
And we do still have flood warnings in play for a lot of people here in south central Wisconsin. Those will go until 3:45 later on this afternoon and evening. Now, thankfully, precipitation is moving away from our part of the country. High pressure taking over. That is going to mean a lot of sunshine for us. Temperatures right now right around 27 degrees, but as we head into the afternoon, expect highs topping out in the upper 30s and low 40s for a lot of folks.
All right. Well, it is the weekend in the 608. It's finally here.
Yes, finally here. And here's a look at what's going on in the Madison area as well.
Folk singer-songwriter Roseanne Cash, that's right, the daughter of Johnny Cash and her husband John Leventhal, bring their Grammy Award-winning material of their 2014 album, The River and the Thread, to the Capitol Theater stage tonight. Concertgoers should expect a soulful performance starting at 8.
And how about something for all the real Irish and the Irish wannabes? For some morning family fun, stop by Dream Bank for a special St. Paddy's Day celebration. Bring your creative spirit, because Funny Faces Entertainment will be providing face painting from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. along with crafting and coloring for the kids. Again, that's this morning.
This restaurant is taking a break from their German roots. The Essen House and their neighbors, the Come Back Inn, are going Irish this weekend with live Irish and polka music, green beer, corned beef and cabbage, Irish stew, and shepherd's pie. All Irish all weekend long to complete the theme.
I'm hungry now, but gather around the Capitol Square tomorrow at 1:30 for the 22nd annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, celebrating the Irish culture. Proceeds do benefit the UW Carbone Center, Gigi's Playhouse Madison, and Logan's Heart and Smiles.
Kind of the St. Paddy's Day theme this weekend. As always, you can pick up a copy of this month's Madison magazine for all of the best in the Madison area. Well, it's Saturday, but you know what? We have a nice day on the way today, finally.
That's the first time we've said that all year, so that's certainly good news. Some much-needed sunshine is here for the weekend. I'll lay it out as far as how long it'll last in your full forecast after the break.
But first, happy birthday to Colton and all of the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning.
Well, we've had several flood warnings in the area. A lot of those finally starting to expire, but some of them have been extended. Thankfully, a lot of the rain and the snow moving away from us. Behind that, though, is plenty of sunshine throughout the area. In fact, very little cloud cover throughout much of Wisconsin. Some streaks of cloud cover moving across southeastern Minnesota as we speak this morning. And even still, that's high cloud cover. Nothing's really going to be falling out of that. In the meantime, abundant sunshine. So enjoy that out there, folks. It's the first Saturday we've been able to see that in a while. 27 degrees right now, so we are starting things out on a little bit of a chillier note. Winds are out of the west and northwest at 7 miles per hour. It's creating just a little bit of a wind chill, but nothing major out there. 30 degrees as you work your way towards Mineral Point. Same for our friends down in Janesville, Watertown, and Monroe at 29 right now. Watoma also in the 20s, but everyone will see the 30s as we work our way into the afternoon. Gradual warming up, about another 10 degrees or so for our highs. In fact, we should top out right around 39. That'll probably come around 3 or 4 o'clock or so. Here's the big picture. This is the Midwest as a whole. For the most part, there is abundant sunshine for everyone because we do have high pressure dominating the weather pattern. It will continue to do so through the weekend. The only thing we'll have to pay attention to is this weak cold front sliding in from the north. That'll allow for some northerly winds into tomorrow, and behind it we might see just a little bit of cloud cover and some flurry activity. But again, what you see over Nebraska and Kansas right now, that's what's truly going to dominate the weather story as we go through the week. Here we are, 39 degrees this afternoon. Again, we're going to top out close to 40 if we don't reach it. 25 as we move into tonight and into your Sunday morning. Then comes that cold front, and then Sunday afternoon, some cloud cover. And again, I can't rule out an isolated flurry or two. It's not the greatest chance, but that chance is there. I want to make sure you're aware of it. Still some cloud cover into Monday morning, but then eventually that clears on out, and we begin to warm things up as we go through the week ahead. This big ridge of high pressure out west, allowing for warmer temperatures to build into the country. In fact, by the time we get you towards the end of the next 10 days, we are talking a big surge of warmth through the nation's midsections. And in fact, we do have the highest probability of above normal temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days right here over us in south central Wisconsin, and I think a lot of folks are going to be extremely excited about that. Temperatures making it into the mid and upper 50s, perhaps some low 60s coming back into the game. It's not in the forecast yet, but the forecast data is showing it, and they're going on strong with those temperatures there. The downside, next weekend, Josh, you already know, we do have chances for showers and thunderstorms. So we will enjoy the sunny weekend that we have out there now.
With those temperatures, I'm not going to complain.
All right, good. Neither will I. Here's the deal. If you're going to be out walking your pets, this is Diesel in Sun Prairie. I'm not sure what he's sad about. I don't know.
I don't know what he said about either. Maybe he said that he had to come back in?
Probably, because this weather is great.
It is great.
But, you know, just walk your pets, folks. It's a great time to get out.
It is a mood booster, though,
It is
for
such
sure.
a mood booster. Yes, I'm really happy to be able to say this.
All
I know, I'm
smiles.
not talking about snowstorms or something, so yeah.
Finally. All right, time for you to share your morning with us. And David emailed us this picture of the morning sunrise. I think this was taken a few days ago when the snow was still on the ground. But thank you so much for sharing. We love those sunrise shots. If you'd like to have your picture on TV, take a picture of it and post it to our social media using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. Stick with News 3 Now for the latest on rising rivers and flood evacuations today. Then join us back here tomorrow at 6:30 for what's next heading into your work week. But first on our news this morning, it's not where you start, but where you end up. How a once homeless man made it to the big time when News 3 Now this morning returns. Well, we have proof this morning that it's not where you start, but where you end up.
Here's DeMarco Morgan.
Tuba player Richard White knows just how to make his deep-pitched brass instrument growl. But very few know the story behind how the Baltimore native made it to the big stage.
Some nights, unfortunately, I couldn't find my mom. So I would go in abandoned houses or find a piece of cardboard and sleep under trees.
At the age of 3, White was homeless, living on the streets of inner-city Baltimore. His mother, an alcoholic, struggled to keep a roof over their heads. This fountain was a lifeline.
And you would get water, you would also bathe here.
This is where I washed up, man. Yeah.
So it's still tough for you?
It's very real. Sorry.
Then, a miracle.
And I was found right down here.
Found alone in a doorway during a snowstorm. He was later adopted by Vivian and Richard McLean, who gave him more than just a home. They gave him a passion for music. He loved it so much that he applied for the Baltimore School for the Arts, run by Chris Ford.
He comes in, he had a broken hip at the time, so he's got crutches. He's got this plastic sousaphone wrapped around him.
I said, I'm here to audition. He said, oh, really? Auditions were yesterday. And I said, but I'm here now.
Something came through that was really compelling about him, that was well worth taking a chance.
White, who couldn't even read music at the time, persevered. He became the first African-American to earn a doctorate in music and tuba performance and has performed for audiences all over the world. His life story has now been made into a documentary film called Raw Tuba, after his initials, Richard A. White. He continues to perform and teach at the University of New Mexico.
What would you say is the moment you said, okay, you know what, I am somebody?
The thing I'm most proud about is that every day I get to go to work and give back and make a difference in a kid's life. Because that's what happened to me.
It doesn't get more raw than that. DeMarco Morgan, CBS News, Baltimore.
I love those paying it forward stories.
I know, and it really doesn't get more raw than that. A beautiful story there. Beautiful weather continuing for the weekend as well. Temperatures over the next 10 days will go in a direction that I think is going to excite a lot of folks. In fact, by next weekend, we could be as much as 20 degrees warmer than we are this weekend. Woo! So yeah, we will take that. A gradual warm up all week long and plenty of sunshine to go along with it. Only a slight chance of flurries tomorrow. Thunderstorms possible by next weekend.
All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. Stay safe if you're out celebrating St. Patty's Day. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning starting at 6:30.